Good to take notes, Jessica, as we need, or what? What do you think?
Well, I am gonna, after this is completed, you will be receiving the full recording and the PowerPoint from me,
Okay,
along with notes and highlights
Okay.
from anything that comes up. So you can certainly take notes if there are things that are specifically standing out to you, but also you are going to get all of those pieces. So it's up to you, whatever, however you process information best.
and I'm gonna email one person this evening to check it out.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Tokyo. You actually get to see, sometimes you get to see Mount Fuji when the clouds are right.
Well, we'll be there in December when it is the clearest.
Yep, I went to a place specifically to see it last time I was in October and I didn't see it, but it was still very magical. In fact, I barely saw anything, but that was also cool and magical. So we're gonna go, we've done our group introductions. Beiko Sensei is going to share with us things about her class, then we'll do general academic and program expectations. We'll talk about that paperwork. I had some people worried. There is a bit of paperwork. Once you get through it, then it's pretty easy. And it's not hard, it's just keeping track of all the pieces. So I am here to help with that. And then at about 6 o'clock, we will be joined by people from last year who will come and share the real life lived experience of this program. So you can save up, you're certainly welcome to ask me questions now, but then also you can ask questions when they join us. So you can get 2 different perspectives if you wish. Rachel, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I think most of you there, just wanted to check in on that. I think most of you know me by now, and also, you know, if there's anything you don't know about me yet, feel free to ask. I think some things maybe you haven't just heard about me yet is maybe where I've gone in Japan and some of the places that I know we've all talked a little bit about where we all might get to go. So I have been in Tokyo, but I've also been all the way down to Osaka, to Kyoto, to Hiroshima, to Nara, to Fushimi Inari Taisha, which is that famous picture of the shrine in the water. I've been also all the way up north to the mountainous areas of Japan. And so I'm really hoping that we get to explore some of those regions. I know we get to have one day trip that is a little bit more to the rural area, because we are gonna do the, what is it, Fuyazawa? They plan it, right? And we're gonna do that one for that excursion, because they plan that one, is that right? Oh, that one, okay. And that's kind of more outside of Tokyo, is kind of what I'm saying, yeah. And then somehow Dubois Sensei last time was able to fit in on the Hiroshima trip, Kyoto, and Nara, and Fushimi Inari Taisha, and Hiroshima, of course. So I'm gonna do my best to get that all in there, because I know that many of you wanna see the bowing deer that are at Nara. And also, I know that many of you would like to see the 1,000 torii, which is the 1,000 red gates of the Fushimi Inari Taisha. And then, of course, we're gonna be doing Hiroshima too. So that would be great. We've also already got planned, right? The Judy Museum will be purchasing those tickets when we're there. That isn't paid for as a part of your program fee. So when I organize a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna be, you know, asking you all who wants to go, who can go, these types of questions. I know that a lot of people also voted to go to the Disney as well. So it sounds like that's something we should be planning. And then, you know, the course that I'm teaching in general is going to be a mix of psychological studies as well as Asian studies and Asian American studies and history, so that we can do, it's going to be primarily a cross-cultural comparisons class. So how do we talk about differences between the United States, which in and of itself is a complex multicultural democracy, Japan, which is, even though it sounds and sometimes also very homogenous, what is Japanese culture? It's constantly being reinvented and contested. And so I hope that that class will be very interesting to all of you, and also give you some opportunity to go out and do first-person research to inform your homework. I'd like to see a lot of pictures of you walking around Tokyo. I'd like to see a lot of you analyzing manga and anime that you watch. I'd like to see a lot of you incorporating your experiences in Japan with the coursework in the class. So that's a little bit about it. Is there anything that in the past has been helpful to share, do you think?
Do you have any expectations for how groups are gonna gel together or sometimes developing? I mean, that's something else that happens usually at a later orientation. Sometimes it's just group expectations.
Group expectations in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do things as a family, y'all. I think it depends. Here's the thing. You all are here to have a great time in Japan, live that life, woo, love it. Also, you don't go to a college where we just send you off on your own way, goodbye, have a great day. I think that we will learn best together as a group. And so I do have expectations that on many of our trips and excursions, especially that are related to the course and our experience, that we are gonna do them as a group. You'll also have more fun that way. But also, there's gonna be plenty of weekends and Mondays when we don't have things planned that I want you to go ahead and get purposely lost. If there is a place to get purposely lost, it's probably Tokyo. You know, cause I'm less worried about you there than maybe, getting lost somewhere else. So I do want you to exercise that independence, but you know, one thing I think that is really important for all of us to remember is that we've had this relationship with Japan, and Bunkyo for 25 years. They really respect us, we really respect them. And so I want you to remember that every time you're in Japan, who you're interacting with, you're in their classes, you're on the 3rd floor hanging out with those students, you actually are a representative of the United States. You're a representative of CSB+SJU, and you're showing them all that we have to offer. You will get homesick. You will have food that makes you very not well. You will maybe make some choices that I might make me worried about you. But also, I still want us to be able to have healthy, fun, good times in Japan. And I'm here as a resource for you if ever it feels like that's not happening. Because that's not how I should feel. So, and anything else that will be really helpful for you?
Yeah, you'll be setting up, most of you, I think, are already online.
Oh yeah,
in the chat.
LINE, the application line, okay, because I don't have it installed yet. I see some heads nodding, okay.
So it is the WhatsApp or the Facebook,
Yeah, that's
the messenger of Japan, right? And so you will be setting up a group chat. Generally, we also have a form that we send out, and we request that anytime you're going to be sleeping away from program housing, that you complete the form. It's not a thing that we do because we are monitoring where you're going. These are all choices. You're all adults. These are all choices you can make, but it is for safety reasons. Like if we need to find you, you throw your phone gets lost down a drain or something. These things happen, and we need to try to start tracking you down somewhere. It is helpful for us to have a place to start. Generally, Japan is a lovely space, and it's pretty reasonable to go explore on your own. But you know, setting up expectations together that you're going to stay a little bit in contact. If you're going out, you don't necessarily need to leave a full detailed list or always travel with someone else. But letting people know about when you would be expected home is always a good step. Just in case you do need additional support or you need to find you for some reason. Everyone on a study abroad program through Safe and St. John's is required to have a cell phone plan that allows you to make phone calls and receive phone calls off of Wi-Fi. So you will be setting up a phone plan, whether that's through SIM or you have an international plan. We don't dictate necessarily that specific plan, but you do have to be able to make and receive phone calls off of Wi-Fi. And you're gonna wanna do that anyways. You're gonna need Google Maps, you're gonna wanna check subway train times, you're gonna possibly need Google Translate a little bit for various things. So it's gonna be incredibly helpful to have a plan that has data and to access all those things. So that's part of safety too. Also, you have insurance from us, and I'll be showing you the app and you can download it so everyone will be carrying insurance. So something that we tend to do a little bit in the States is suffer a long time before we go to the doctor just to make sure we're really sick. You don't need to do that as much. You are well covered in Japan. So my advice generally for our students who are sitting abroad is don't suffer too long. Don't suffer needlessly. We have solutions for these things. You can reach out to Vicar Sensei or to me. I also have Lyme. And so for our BGU colleagues and friends who can help a lot with that. So don't be miserable when we could fix it. I sometimes come back, oh, I had a toothache all semester. Oh, what? We can do things about that. So don't let that go on you longer than it should.
Then, now that I'm hearing a bit of a piece that also might be helpful to share, I wasn't quite sure what you meant by that. Couple other things. Yes, I'd like for us all to have Line, L-I-N-E, the app, and download it on our phone, and a big group chat. Humble brag every time you go see something cool. Number two, we'll actually be seeing each other not only on Tuesdays for our class, because our class is on Tuesdays from 3 to 6. Yeah. So our class in part will have us checking in, also us talking about the content for the day, and many times going off and doing cool and fun excursions. But also, you'll have individual meetings with me once a week, especially in the first month. So that is when the language barrier feels the hardest, the finding the food that I like to eat feels the hardest, the I really miss my friends at home feels the hardest. We will have weekly individual meetings. They're actually super short. This is a practice that Jeff Dubois has done for a very long time. And I have it filled out in a little schedule where you'll all schedule meet with me. So for that first month, we'll just click in even 15 minutes, you know, like it'll be like, Evelyn's checking with me is on Wednesdays at 9 AM, and then 15 minutes later it's Rahe, and then 15 minutes later it's Kade. You know, so we'll be able to do that as well, and I expect to, you know, have that regular contact with you, now that I'm hearing a little bit what you're talking about, when you say group expectations. And then before we go to, we'll practice some of this stuff, like a whole group chat that I make sure that you all respond to, so that I know that you are online and can respond to it. Ideas about emergency briefings, because we don't wanna be in Japan when an emergency happens and suddenly we're caught flat-footed. That's kind of the scarier side part, but also, like I said, remember that the being in contact part is also the most fun part too. The, hey, I just went to this really cool place, we should all go, it was such good ramen, let's make it as a class trip, sounds great, let's leave class 30 minutes early and go get that ramen, everybody. You know, so I do want us to have the fun as well, but like I said, my worry is a little bit of mom worries, so I do have expectations that we're gonna be there as a team, trying to make our entire program succeed.
So we can go ahead and start booking flights. I think it's, well, I'll be walking you through all your paperwork. I don't necessarily need flights for your COEs. You have a little bit of time yet to purchase them. I think I set June 1st for Japan is enough time, so you obviously don't want to sit on it. You would be checking now to see if there are any amazing deals. Our big recommendation is you can go on Kayak or some of the discount airline websites and check, but then I would go directly to the airline and see if the prices are not similar, because you want to be able to get a flight that you can change, a flight that has some flexibility in case you change your mind about exactly when you want to leave at the end of the program, if you want to stay on because you've made a really good friend, or if you need to come home a little earlier, or any of these things. It's since COVID, we have learned the value of being able to communicate directly with the airline rather than working through like Kayak or something, where if there's a problem with your flight, it gets delayed, you don't get the same sort of support for compensation. When you come to that third-party provider, if you book directly with Delta and there's a big holdup, sometimes you get compensation out of how long that delay is. If you should need to change anything, it's easier to work directly with Delta, although I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier than working with them and then through Kayak. Oh, that's weird. That's my little thing is saying, please wait, please wait. Oh. Okay. Anyways, I can continue to talk about flight for a moment. Just for those of you who are going to be departing from Minnesota, from the Minneapolis airport, there is a direct flight to Haneda. So that's a pretty good deal. It's also not that expensive if you start gauging your flights now. Certainly if you are flying out of larger destinations, Houston, Dallas, LA, those kinds of, San Francisco, Seattle, all of those have pretty reasonable airfare as well, so Chicago. So you should be able to find some pretty good deals. Try to purchase your tickets on a Monday or a Tuesday. It's generally a better rate. The rates on flights shift a lot, so don't do it on the weekends. You'll find that the prices are higher on the weekend.
Can I ask a follow-up question,
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
So in years past, Professor Dubois, when he buys his flight, he sent it out to the students, and some students have booked his exact same flight, which is.
Not for this
So I wanted to know
semester.
about that. Okay, so that's what I wanted to know, because my day is one day before all of
Yeah,
theirs.
And
Okay,
so there is no housing
that's what I
available
wanted to know, okay.
before the start, like the 28th is the absolute earliest that you can be in program housing. They are actually on vacation, so they come back from vacation to start this program for us.
Okay.
So, we cannot get in earlier than that. You will be met, if you arrive at Haneda, you will be met by students, like some of the BGA students will
I'm also happy to be there, because I'll be there a day before.
be there and hanging out and helping you.
Yes.
Get to the accommodations. You will be taking the subway.
It's great.
It's great. I'm not saying it's not great. The subway is amazing. But what I'm saying is, when you pack, take your bags for a walk around the block and then carry them up 2 flights of stairs. And if you are struggling, you need to rethink. Okay? Because you're gonna arrive, you're gonna be a little tired after a long flight. And now you have to navigate the subway system. You're gonna have somebody there helping you navigate, but you will still have to move all the bags, people, trains, sidewalk. So, just saying. If you find a walk around the block with your things challenging, you might reconsider how much you're bringing or how you packed it. And I can say from, and I'm sure our alums, when they join us, will share again, the exact how much they purchased and how they really struggled to find some space on the way home. Because there were lots of found treasures coming back with them. So when you're going, Tokyo's a big place. You can find most things you need in Tokyo, barring a few, like if there are specific personal products that you need. And we can talk about that in a second, but mostly try to pack light, especially at the beginning of the trip. As there's beautiful thrifting and things like that to happen. And hard choices at the end. Shipping things is expensive.
Hey, really quickly, you didn't get to something yet, Jessica, that I actually did want to say. So on the previous thing, it says no hacker fairs. Do not do a hacker fair. Do you all know what that means?
No.
Okay, a hacker fair is when kayak or other places say, hey, you could book from Minneapolis to Seattle with Delta, and then from Seattle to Haneda with, I don't know, Southwest Airlines. They don't fly to Haneda, but I'm making it up. That is a very, very bad idea because they don't transfer your bags between the airlines. So now you've checked your bag into Seattle. It's gonna get there and get delivered as if you're arriving at your destination at Seattle. You're gonna have to leave security, go out and get your bag, check back into security, check in with the new airline, and then leave from Seattle to Haneda. Do not do a hacker fair. Book on one airline the whole way there. Now, airlines have partnerships. It might be the case that, don't get me wrong, Delta will say that they're partnering with, sometimes it's KLM, yes, thank you. So Delta might be partnering with somebody, but if you were on the airline's website, just as Jessica said, they are guaranteeing that they will get your bags from where you left to where you're gonna pick them up in Haneda. So do not do a hacker fair, do not go to 2 different airlines and purchase it. Be on one website. Don't be like me and make that mistake. I didn't realize it was a hacker fair. This was a long time ago. I didn't realize it was a hacker fair until it was too late. So don't do that, everybody. I just want to get to that one point before you go start.
Perfect, yes, and I, just as a
I haven't had this happen in a long time, but I have had bags join me later, so I
Yes.
always carry like a spare set of clothing. There is nothing in my carry-on, because there's nothing worse than getting to a place and wanting to take a shower and then having to put on your dirty clothes. That's not fun. Okay, so I don't have all the dates yet for these exact events, and as our alums may address, the calendar is a little bit more fluid in Japan. So it does vary quite a bit, and you will get updates and shifts pretty regularly while you're there. So prior to deciding to make any plans, if you were thinking about any individual travel while you're there, please wait until you arrive and you get a chance to talk to the GSI office about what the calendar looks like long-term, as things shift fairly regularly, depending on if special events or other things are coming up or happening. It's just more fluid than you might expect. So you will get, obviously, the PowerPoint with all of this there so that you can start making some plans. You've already done the online orientation and the handbook. I'll be sending out links to all of that again. Please remember that there is a no driving policy for CSB+SJU. It is not allowed.
And you don't wanna drive in Japan anyways. I got pulled over, don't do it. Another
yeah.
story, but don't do it, don't drive in Japan, thank you, just.
Yes, no, it's not allowed on any program, any CSB+SJU program, and a violation may result in your removal from the program. So we take it quite seriously. Do not drive, and this includes electric scooters. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep,
Oh, I didn't know that.
no driving.
Don't worry, Japanese people hate them, so please don't upset the people who live there, so.
How that works in Europe.
Well, you know how in Europe they hate them too. Anyways.
Well, they use them a lot.
But it is still even here, it's pretty standard in the industry. Injuries and knowing different traffic laws, different places, all the things are things we don't necessarily need to worry about. So in fall, you don't have to participate. Obviously, you are not paying for fall housing, so you will not participate in the fall housing selection. I will send you links to the information that housing has. Like, housing doesn't come through my office. I get lots of questions, but I don't have any insider knowledge, especially. So what I can tell you that they usually encourage people to find someone that you can swap places.
Oh.
Usually works best. But they've got lists that have opportunities like vacancy lists, so you can also go on and look, and I will include those links in the follow-up email that comes out from this program with the PowerPoint and other things, so you can go on. They're already live on CSB+SJU, my CSB+SJU, if you search housing, information about what to do if you're studying abroad will pull up there. But yes. I'd just like to point that out. I don't know if it's not going away for me. There we go. So when you go to another country, obviously you are beholden to the laws and expectations of that space. So there are things that you need to know, and not knowing them is not an excuse for violating something. It won't change the situation at all. You will still be in trouble. So things like pocket knives, pepper spray, mace, products containing CBD, drugs, medications. I will be checking all of your medication lists. We do have to fill out a certificate form if you're bringing anything that's going to be over 30 days. If you are currently taking any ADHD medications, such as Adderall, that contains amphetamines in it, it is illegal to bring to Japan. And so we need to have a conversation about how to shift and maybe find a different medication or a different strategy for the time in Japan. Do not send medications. Have your parents send medications. They can also not only just get held up or take a long time or be expensive or get lost, but depending on the medication, if it's not allowed in Japan, you can get in serious trouble for mailing medications to Japan. So you want to start working with your insurance company now, because it can take several months sometimes to get approvals, to get 4 months worth of medication to travel with. Okay, so if you are taking anything daily or weekly or on a regular basis, more than 30 days, then this is probably something that we need to start processing and working on, okay? The hair dryers and straighteners, the voltages are the same.
Don't.
I can't remember now.
What
I'll let you know.
what do you wanna know, the voltage? The voltage is the same.
Yeah, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine with straighteners and hair dryers, I'm sorry.
In general, for all of
It's
us
the
in
plugs.
Japan, the plugs are fine, but many of them don't have a third prong. So in Japan, all of them have two like this, but if you have anything that's a third prong, you need to make sure that you're buying some adapters. They're there too, don't get me wrong, they're also there. Japan is the land of, technological marvels. But just an FYI, so your cell phone usually is that, but your laptop is often the one that has the third prong. So think about bringing an adapter that just puts it to a 2-prong. You can get them at any hardware store.
But it says Euro adapter, which is kind of a standard size for us, but an adapter for Japan. And you can get, if you are thinking about going anywhere else, you can also get sort of a
Yeah.
location adapter, so that works as well. Your cell phone needs to be unlocked. Does anyone know what I mean by that?
No, I don't know what that means.
So for putting in an additional SIM, depending on, or changing out the SIM,
Oh,
depending on what your program provider. Sorry, I was being blinded. Like if you are working on a plan, your phone might be locked until you've paid off the phone. If you're working through a company, maybe Sprint or trying to think, Verizon or something, to put in a new SIM, there might be limitations, so you need to call and find out, ask your phone company about what you need to do in order to make sure that your phone is unlocked so that you can change the SIM. Okay?
and correct me if I'm wrong, that's so that we can have a Japanese cell phone number, right?
No, I mean, if you are planning, if you have an international plan and you're not planning on changing out your SIM, then
Okay.
you don't need to do that.
Okay.
But by and large, it is a little bit more. It can be a strategy for affordability to maybe put a hold on your current plan and then go ahead and buy a plan in Japan. They are slightly less expensive. So that is a strategy that you can employ if you wish. If you have an international plan, if you're on your family's plan and this is already working for you, you don't need a Japanese number.
Okay.
You can set up, if you set up Line now and then share, you'll be able to communicate with mostly all your friends and make phone calls and things like that. They won't call you on the phone probably because they don't want to call a US number. You won't be able to call friends if you are traveling on an international phone plan because you will have a US number. It might be expensive for them to call and receive, but you can certainly work with Line or other social media to connect. I think how lots of people do anyways these days. My understanding is actually Discover works more than I expected in Japan,
Really?
but by and large, you should be traveling with either a Visa or a MasterCard. If you're gonna have a backup credit card, Japan does love cash. We are still a more cash-based society. So you want to make sure that you're bringing a debit card, ask your bank about what those fees are gonna be. You don't wanna, this is your money, you don't necessarily wanna give all your money back to all the various banks in fee form. So ask about what those fees are. And then work on getting if you don't want to use it as your primary source for paying, you do want a Visa or a MasterCard as an emergency. Right, a backup option as well. Ask about the fees on those cards as well. Some cards have 0 foreign transaction fees, like Capital One and Wells Fargo has an international card. I know that my Costco, Citi, whatever it is, membership card is an international card. So make sure that you're getting one of those so that you're not paying additional fees. Yes?
Do you know if they use tap pay a lot? There, if it works in Japan too? No.
No.
They have
it's
their own
not-
tab.
Yeah,
They have their own one, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think
Will
it's ours.
ours work? So like, I have like credit cards on my phone, but I don't have physical one.
No,
Apple?
they have their, own. Yeah, I don't think they, oh, actually, it might be Apple.
Yeah, I think you can
think
do
maybe.
Apple.
It actually might be Apple,
I will check with our partner.
Okay,
but because they have their own form of tap,
like this one, like I just and try to pay.
that I don't know. Did you experience that?
I didn't use tab, I use mostly cash.
Yeah.
Just because it works everywhere.
So the place you're gonna wanna use your debit card to get your money out of, that usually has the lowest fees, is the United States Postal Service Post Office. I'll be able to show you what that picture looks like, it's a big fancy JP, what? Oh, did I say United States? Sorry, United Postal Service of Japan, sorry. It's like USPJP something something, United Postal Service of Japan. It's big and green, and also blue. And I'll show you what that looks like. They're gonna have your smallest transaction fees. In order to find out if any of your credit cards have these fees, just pick up the cell phone and call them. I know that you don't like talking to customer service agents, but trust me, they're paid to call and talk, they're paid to talk to you. So if you just call your Visa, your MasterCard, the number on the back, they'll be able to tell you what the fees are. Yeah.
I will go for Wells Fargo because I do work there.
Yeah, she works there.
Yep, there is one credit card that you didn't mention that has no fees, but for everything else, there is a 3% fee, so if you think Wells Fargo, don't check.
Okay.
And the ATM fee can also be a little bit high on Wells Fargo, because they also exchange it there. They also get charged with fees.
But in general, wouldn't you say, April, or I don't know if Jessica's heard this, or maybe your experience, in my personal experience, it is not the cheapest way to buy currency here, for example, because you can purchase currency in the United States and get it changed over. That has not been my experience. It is the cheapest these days to either go to Japan and withdraw from the debit machine, their yen, using your debit card, or to pay using an international card that has transaction fees. It'll still be less than if you purchase it through a currency teller here in the United States to transfer it. Would you agree
Yeah.
with that? Okay.
I would say, one advice, since like I'm a teller.
Yeah.
If you absolutely want to have cash as soon as you land, then I would recommend going to like your bank and going up to a teller and getting foreign currency. But I would also recommend going to an airport too.
At Haneda, at multiple places, there's a ATM machine that's associated with Japan Bank. And I know exactly which floors it's on the maps for the floors. I'm just saying, it's right there. You get off the plane, you go to that place, you get your money right out.
The transaction, the exchanges in the airports do tend to have pretty high fees. And
Yes,
it's always
you don't
been my experience to just go to the ATM is a pretty reasonable option. That is pretty much how I've always operated.
Yeah.
Now, you are going to Tokyo Airport, so there will be an ATM that will work. There are a few places that you go where you could run the risk of finding not a working ATM, and that's
true.
face a challenge, but not in Tokyo. So I'm pretty confident, yes.
Do you guys know Revolut and if it works there?
How do you spell it?
RE V something, hold up,
Like Revolt?
like this.
I don't.
No, never heard of that. Revolut.
Yes.
Okay, no, I don't know if that works
It's
there.
basically it works, you set it up with your bank, any bank that you use. And then you have like kind of an account that works anywhere. Like you can convert money to any currency that you want. And
Whoa.
it's, no fee or very little, I don't remember now, but I use it all the time with like Polish currency and euros and dollars. And it also works like a Venmo, like we can send each other money as well. Like it's a
Okay.
very nice looking
Oh.
app. And also you can either set it up with your phone, like Eddie was showing, it looks like a virtual card like this, and it's a Visa.
And it is a Visa.
But you can also order a physical card that works with ATMs, and just everywhere. And I actually used it here for a while before I got an American bank account, like for getting paid through student employment, but before that, I didn't need it because of the rule. And I just wonder if that works there.
I'll
It's
happily look into it and see if
It's
it's an
very
option for us.
common and popular in Europe.
Okay.
And yeah, it works great. And you can have like Japanese currency.
Okay, I think that's a great suggestion, I'll take a look at it.
Fantastic. You have experts in the group. This is fabulous, your resources. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving along, but common sense, bag awareness isn't as critical necessarily in Japan. You can get away with things a little bit more like you can here, but you are a big city, so opportunistic crime does happen. More often than not, it would get turned in to the police station, but you should still pay attention. If you leave something on a subway, it might not be easy to find again, or it might find a new home. So, using some common sense that we, some awareness that we might not necessarily need to exercise as much in central Minnesota. Costs on the program, the program fee is gonna go on your student account. August 10th, July, sometime in July, sorry. I was like, what is it? July, and then it's due August 10th, just like your regular tuition. At the same time, you have already paid for your application fee. Airfare you can start looking at airfare now and see if you can find a reasonable deal. We budget a little on the high side, we hope, by and large, to just make sure that we have left a little buffer space and that finding a cheaper airfare is just a win. Let's see. Then the other costs below that are here. These are the things that you are typically going to have to pay for while you are in Japan. I think I move us. You will be living in a dorm with a kitchen space. There is no meal plan in Japan, but there is lunches on BGU campus that are pretty cheap. What were they like? 300 and
Yeah, I think it's like 300, 450 yen, which is $2 to $3. So
and decent size. You can definitely get full, or you can do your own cooking if that is something that you also like. The convenies are also available, the convenience stores, right? And there's a lot of pretty reasonable, pretty tasty, generally healthier than you would find here options. So, I'm happy to talk through any of these things. We budgeted like around your cell phone plan, books. Most of your things are going to come through Teams or through your email. So you, except the one exception is your textbooks for Japanese. You're all going to be using your Genki series. So you need to bring your textbooks with you. If you don't have textbooks, you should buy them here before you go, because it does take quite a while to get the textbook there. So buy it here and bring it with you. If you don't have one already, if you are currently using Genki, unless you are at the end, then you have to buy the next level. But if you're in 1 or 2, please bring your textbooks.
And it's true, right, Jessica, that I don't know if it's in this PowerPoint, but it's in one of our PowerPoints, the level of the Japanese class that gets assigned. It has the correct textbook. We know which class there has which textbook assigned, right?
Yeah.
Because like, for example, Pola, you're gonna need Genki 1, but like, Bedoya-san, you might need Genki 2.
I got it.
Okay, well, so but right. Like I'm done, I'm ready to go. So, but it is somewhere that we have the exact classes lined up with which textbook, right? Okay, great.
I will send a specific email with that.
Does that make sense to everybody? You have to know which class that you're in Japan, so that you can know which correct textbook to buy.
Okay. Trying to keep going, we have some
Deadlines, people, deadlines.
I've seen a lot of identity forms and health forms. I will be reviewing your health forms, not because I'm trying to review that, but I'm just gonna be checking medication. So if you haven't done your health form, or if you are taking a regular medication, please give me the actual name of it, so that I can check with Japan and some of our immigration pieces to make sure that it's accepted. That's what I'm doing. I don't really want to know, but I need to know. And then we are gonna have appointments, either 9th or 10th. I'm gonna ask you to set up appointments with me to review your COE applications. You can also, if you're ready and you want to do your visa application at that point, you certainly can. That would mean giving me your passport at that point. Yeah, I will get your passports. We'll talk. I need your passport to get your visa. So you will be leaving it with me. We have a safe in the building.
Do you know how long you'll have our passports? Like, we're planning anywhere?
For quite a while.
Okay.
So if you are traveling, we need to talk about like other options. But generally, so the process is a two-part process. We have to do the COE, which is your pre-approval, which is that first application, that's Excel form that we're working on. That's what you need the health form for, you need the financial guarantor for. All of those things are coming through for your COE, which is your pre-approval that happens in Tokyo. So I send all that information to BGU. They take it to immigration in Tokyo. It disappears into a space, and then it comes back out. Whenever it comes out, there is no expedited services, there's no timelines, there's very few updates. It goes in, and then when it comes back, it's back. So then we get the COEs back, and then I get the visa application and your passport, another document, that's okay. And I mail it to Chicago, who processes in 1 to 2 weeks. Usually they're very quick. They send them back to me, and then I send them all out to you. I use FedEx, and we do tracking, so obviously we're not just keeping our fingers crossed with your passport coming in. We're gonna be able to monitor, so.
And for those who haven't had a visa before, I think this feels confusing about why we need to have your physical passport. They open up to the back page and the consulate, all of our paperwork, it gets put on the back page that you have a visa to study there. That's why they physically read it. That's correct, right?
Yeah, your visa is a sticker.
A sticker, sorry,
That
that's what I said.
goes into your passport, takes up a whole passport.
That's why they have to have it. That's why when we
It has
say
to be fixed.
it has to be,
Passport.
that's why we get, yeah. It can feel confusing, I feel like people don't know, they're like, well, why do you need it? That's why.
Yeah.
When you go as a tourist anywhere else for a couple of weeks and you walk in and they do a first stamping, that's you getting a visa, but this is us getting a long visa.
The sticker in there, you get to keep it back at it. Part of your mementos. So as we were talking about the COE, I just want to call our attention to the fact that I am going to need 2 passport photos, right, from you. I need your application typed. I need a scanned copy of your passport, and it needs to be signed. If you haven't signed it and it's coming from someplace else as a scan, come in, you sign it, and we'll make that work. You need to visit the health center. You need to complete a health check. I highly recommend that you just go to our on-campus services because you have already paid for that. And part of your fees, they're familiar, they do this every year. They can frequently squeeze you in pretty quickly. And they do this every year for us, so they are familiar with the form. Print out the form, do that. The financial guarantor does have to be usually a parent. Unless you're able to provide evidence that you are self-supporting.
Can I ask you a clarifying question, Jessica? What if I don't have a passport size photo? How do I get one?
You can go to either the post office in St. Joe, or you could go to Walgreens in St. Cloud.
I think
And-
Walmart does it too. I think Walmart does it too.
Probably does. I would not be surprised, because they do photos, sorry, like. I need like my sunglasses, or
It's gonna chase you. It's gonna chase you.
I need a hat.
Because for those of us who already have a passport, we might be like, oh, I don't need to take any photos, I'm cool. Wrong, we do need to bring 2 photos.
Just pictures of the past, literally.
No, it's a picture of you and it's about this, it's about this big, each of them. It's a picture of you, it's about this big each. And it gets affixed to your picture of your visa, right?
No, I mean.
It's not on the sticker, I was
it's
just
not.
curious.
It's just, it goes into
It goes into
the world
processing.
phase.
Yeah,
Brand new
it,
picture.
yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, so that's what I'm trying to say, is it can feel like a surprise suddenly, if you have your passport, you're good to go, but you need to. Who what?
It's on.
Oh, yeah. But it's a tiny little photo that's about 2 by 2, and so you get 2 of them on a reel when you go into a place and get it done. So that's what you need to go do before your visa appointment with Jessica, is go to the post office, the St. Joe's post office, or to Walgreens or Walmart apparently, if I've said, since I've mentioned that together.
The one thing I wanna point out is if you are, whoever is doing your financial, doing your financial guarantor is also the person who's going to be your supporter living abroad. So,
On the scale.
this information is, like, if it's, for example, I used Zoe, my daughter, the made up person. I have to think of real people. So Zoe's going to Japan and I am her financial supporter abroad. So I had to do my place of employment, my occupation, my income, right, as an example. So, and I would fill out the form and sign it, guaranteeing that I will not let her become a drain on the Japanese economy. Will not abandon her in Japan. Yes,
So, this should be typed out, correct?
yes.
Okay.
In the Excel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's handwritten because I was just doing notes to highlight and try to do that. But yes, there's an example, so you can see all the pieces have been typed. Everywhere that's highlighted is places that need to be updated for your specific information. Okay. All right. See, yeah, there's a lot of pages, but there's a lot of things you don't have to do. And you're gonna upload the file in, I'm gonna send you a link to where to upload it. I will print it out, I will download it, save it, and we can adjust it if we need to at your meeting when I collect all your other documents, okay? The Japan visa application, I mean, if you're ready to do it and give me your passport and do all the things, we can do that at the appointment. But we can also do that in May, if that's a later process, because we will have to wait for the COE to return. Usually it takes a minimum of 8 weeks for the COE to come back. So just FYI.
And COE stands for certification of enrollment, what's it?
Eligibility.
That's what it is.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else, and you have already registered for all your classes.
There it is. Okay, this picture right here, I knew it was somewhere. This picture right here tells you the course that you end up enrolling in Japan, okay? And it's equivalent here at CSB+SJU. And so if you have any questions, the first 3 courses here at CSB+SJU, 111, 112, 211, use Genki 1. The last 3 courses, 212, 311, 312, use Genki 2. So depending on what you get enrolled in, take a look back at this exact image and where you get enrolled, go all the way over to the right hand side. And if it's the first 3 courses, you need Genki 1, the second 3 courses, you need Genki 2.
Yes. I also wanted to just call out, and then we'll take a little break, and then our wonderful alums will share all of their hard and lived experience with us, their wisdom. So you have these 2 classes that are 4 credits, but the way the system works in Japan is quite different. And so course hours, you have class that meets once a week. So we have to kind of combine them together to make a 4 credit class. So I have highlighted, I've broken out exactly what classes go into these. So it's like you have mini classes that make up this larger 4 credit class. So like the history class is Japanese business, Japan and international community and social development in Japan. And then the social class is the literature, performing arts, religion, and Japanese society. And then there is a freestanding course called Cool Japan that you get to go out and do lots of exploring in different places, and there are other BGU students in there with you. And then of course you have your 4 credit course with Baker Simple. So that is, and then your Japanese class, of course, at 4 credits, that meets 4 times a week.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
In the morning, right?
Yep. And our alums can answer those questions. So we will take a 5-minute break and then we will come back and hear all the alums, bring all your extra questions.
All right, so
But we will feel free to answer questions as they're talking through things. And if you all don't ask questions, I will start asking them questions.
And I wrote down all of your worries. I will also be asking them your worries if you don't ask questions.
So, but to get started, can we get an introduction? So everyone's name, your major. And maybe what's the thing that you're missing about?
Oh.
Sorry, I was kind of a bummer, but
No, you all, that would be exciting for us.
You all, it might be a little bad. Go ahead, start, Jack.
Alright, I'm Jack, I'm a sophomore, I'm a business major. What I miss would be the food, the nature, and the prices.
I'm Fiona, and I'm from Japan, so I'm exchange student from GU, and I'm junior here, but in Japan since today I'm become senior.
Oh,
And I miss my hometown.
I'm Sophia, I'm a junior, strategic communication major. What?
I forgot to say my name.
I'm from here, and I miss probably the people the most. Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm Aaron, I'm a sophomore, I'm a computer science major. Probably miss, yes, the food and just the scenery, being able to walk around Tokyo.
Hello, my name is Samantha, but you can call me Sammy for short. I'm a junior, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in Hispanic studies. One thing that I miss is just being able to just walk whenever the time I want and get something from the convenience store at any time, any hour, because it's just 5-minute walk, less than 5 minutes, and everything is close by the door, and obviously this is no different.
So photo credit to Sammy on the beautiful tower. Christmas. We'll be there to see the start of the Christmas season. And Hirono will be one of the people probably welcoming you to campus. So what is Tokyo like? Y'all?
Tokyo is a bunch of people. It is like the city, like if anyone is not born in the city, it will be a little bit overwhelming for you guys because it's a lot and everything is everywhere. Everything's so packed together. But the good thing about Tokyo is that even though it's a very busy city, you can still find a place that is quiet and peaceful, especially in parks. I don't know if you guys want to share your experience with parks or anything. Yeah, you mentioned that.
You mean the project you did?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're probably down the road, actually it's on that street, you see it in the photo, it's behind the dorm, there's a Nezu shrine. And like a decent number of people come there, but it's pretty quiet, and it's pretty great spot.
It's really cool.
And the Tokyo neighborhood is definitely a quieter neighborhood.
Yes.
Definitely. So what
Not hard
Tokyo?
to-
Yeah. For some history here, apparently you guys live up like in a hill and it's close to Tokyo University. Not sure if you guys know about Tokyo University, but Tokyo University is very well known in Tokyo because it's like considered like Harvard, but like in Tokyo University. So it's like probably like 7-minute walk, 10-minute walk, depending on how fast you walk. And so everything is like in a big hill. Usually when neighborhoods are like in a big hill, it means they're like very nice, well, pretty, quiet. And the cities are like, or neighborhoods that are like downhill are almost like ghetto, almost like. Almost like, I'm saying that because I come from a ghetto. Yeah, like. It's a pretty nice place, a very quiet place. You won't hear a lot of like beeping or anything, which is not normal to hear beeping on Tokyo. They usually don't beep.
You're
But-
saying honk.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
honk, yeah, sorry, not beep, honk, but yeah. I know, but, you were gonna say something?
One thing kind of like related to sound is so quiet there. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know. I have rarely been in a space where there's so many people and it's so quiet at the same time. And you're not like prompted to be quiet. It's just how it is, which is really cool. And if you see construction, they have like speakers where they monitor the loudness. So you won't get any of that like ear ringing or anything like that when you're walking around. It's really cool. Yeah, they're definitely quiet parts you can find. And your place where you rest, your dorms obviously would be a quieter place as well, hopefully. Yeah.
And actually, that puts a little bit of an obligation on you all to also be mindful of how noisy you are being with relationship to the neighborhood. The president or the chancellor, the family, the founders of BGU are your next door neighbors.
Yes.
So, just putting it out there. And, you know. I'm very lumped with you, I mean, they're fabulous people, they're amazing people, but also no parties at night.
Yeah, we will get to know them, to your point, Isa, we will get to know them.
Did you have something you wanted to add?
It's convenient. That's pretty self-explanatory for a city, but like, you can get around easy, you can get it pretty easily.
The trains are so nice, guys. They come on time, and if they're like 30 seconds late, they're like, I'm so sorry. We're like, it's okay. But it's so nice. Like, you don't even have to worry, depending on where you are, but usually in the heart of Tokyo, you don't even have to worry about like, is my train coming? Like, you know it will, which is really nice. And like,
And adding to that, for only girlies, there is a car that's only for women, so there's no men in there. So I don't know what time.
It's a pink train.
Yeah,
It's a pink train, so yes, men in the group, it's not okay it's okay if you maybe accidentally, but then maybe get off as quick as you can. It's a pink train and it has pink bars, or not bars, but pink, right on the sidewalk when you line up on the platform. And then, it has the sign for women in like a caricature, right? It looks like a woman's body. So it'd be great, men, don't get on that car, it's just not respectful.
Just in case if my ladies are like going late one night and you're just worried or you're by yourself, I always go take that card. And it's very nice because you don't see a lot of men there and they respect, that space, so.
there are certain times, I don't know what that week, but
I think 7 to 9.
7 to 9-ish. So, and you can go on them, men can go on them, like, if it's after that time, like, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's.
Usually in the summer, I think it's the first train,
Mhm.
first car.
Oh, the first car.
Oh, okay.
What about classes?
It's an hour, hour and a half classes. I think the only one you have, is it Monday through Thursday is Japanese.
Tuesday through Friday.
Tuesday through Friday on
For us,
Japanese.
it was Tuesday through Friday, or through Friday, and Mondays we had off, but that might not be.
No, that's the case.
That's the case, okay, so.
Jack's just shifting.
And then every day will be a different class. Some are good, some are bad.
That's true.
Keep it real.
Also like you.
Yeah.
I think the longest days that, at least for me, for classes was Mondays and Fridays, cause Monday we have seminar.
Or you mean Tuesdays?
I mean Tuesdays, I'm so sorry, Tuesdays, those are like the longest, cause we have seminar and that's more like an hour class, cause sometimes we go to expeditions to go travel and see some places. Or do projects and stuff like that, and then for Friday, we go to class at 9 a.m. in the morning about that time, and then we leave at around 6 p.m. And it's a very long day, I know it's very long, but it's very fun.
What was your guys' favorite class?
It was this class about society in Japan, or Japan society, something like that. It's where the professor, he's very chill vibe. We've done a lot of fun projects with that class. I think one of my fun projects that I loved was they have, what was the group, the Japanese, group, singers?
Okay, AKB47.
47, yes, we did one of their songs, we were supposed to perform and dance and make like our own music video to it. And it was really fun. It was fun to just see a lot of people dancing their choreography, and it was just so funny. So I enjoyed that. What about you guys? What do you think?
That one was also one of my favorite.
Yeah, mine was still probably in our Japanese class, and the Japanese class runs every day, Tuesday through Friday. And it's usually pretty small classes, so you get a lot of speaking practice and you'll learn a lot. That was a really fun class. Also, something else to add, speaking of the group projects, besides your Japanese class, I'm not sure if it's gonna stay exactly the same, but I think every other class, there weren't any tests. It's mostly group projects and papers.
Yeah, and a lot of some of your classes, not all of them, but some of them went out and about whole Japan, religion, right? It was very interactive to do society, Japanese society. I got to watch you all learn how to do the dance, so that was really fun.
I have a question. I heard from one of the people that was there with you guys that there's more international students from different parts of the world. Are they also in the classes?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, they are.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. We had the majority of the girls that were in class were from Kazakhstan. We had 2 girls there who were in my Japanese class as well, so. But then there were people from Bulgaria, Turkey.
Uzbekistan, Turkey.
Yeah,
Latvia,
that was just for us though, it
Yeah.
depends on.
Croatia or something?
Malaysia, yep,
Oh,
Malaysia.
really?
That came for only 3 weeks.
Well, like last year, no, 2 years ago was it? Like once it was this.
okay.
So maybe.
So yeah, they'll be with you, like, you get to know them really nice. It's fun.
It sort of depends on what their Japanese level is, so if they are more fluent, they would be more embedded in maybe other classes. Because some of them are majoring in Japanese education, so.
They have like Chinese and Korean too, but like, they usually take the normal classes, VGA students.
Yeah.
It's the same for, well, opposite, but same for Japanese, like, if their English is that good, they can choose to opt into your class. So you might have a couple of Japanese students, you guys, she might be able to. You know, Stella, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll change the slide. Here I am, just listening, not doing, okay, important places on campus.
Yeah, what are your
And
reps?
apparently this is under construction, so it's gonna look a little different, but
Which part is under construction, Jessica?
this corner area, like they're remodeling the third floor. Yeah. apparently. What I heard.
Do you know we'll have access to it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they'll have access to the space, okay, so even though they're, okay.
Yes, they're doing it right now.
Oh, so.
No, what are the different spaces on campus?
Cafeteria, really good, cheap food, it's really quick and easy, and there are a lot of Japanese students in there, so if you're like looking to like make a random friend, then there you go. Right below that is the third floor, what is it, S building? S building, I guess. And that's where a lot of international students will hang out, especially like when we're speaking English, we're learning like Spanish, French, a lot of different languages. So that's like the hub, I would say. Would you guys agree?
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cause like I would go there between classes and there'd just be people I know and I would talk with them. That's where I made a lot of strong friendships. What's, I can't, the glares.
Office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where the staff will be. I don't know. Say hi to them. They're so nice and sweet.
If you,
Go ahead, Mel.
if you really wanna make friends, any Japanese friends, highly recommend going to their floor. I like every single day there will be a Japanese student in there and would love to make friends with you. Just take in mind that Japanese students are a little bit shy. And so they might not want to approach you and they might not seem like they like don't wanna be friends, but they're just really shy. And so if you go up to them and just like start talking to them, they will be open and you'll be more comfortable and they will be your friend. Their culture is just different. And here we're more friendly, more like wanting to talk and make new friends. Over there it's more like kind of like low key and they're just a little bit shy. For both genders, female and male, they're both shy. So just be a little bit more patient with them and then they will be great friends with you guys. So.
When many of you are already connected with BSIS and some of our exchange students, so you will have some friends who can start introducing you to people on the third floor, and they will probably spend a lot of time too on the third floor.
Oh, yeah.
We met them there before they came here, so they're on the third floor definitely, so
Yeah.
you'll see them.
And then I put the subway stop there.
Like,
The building where all of this is right there. So it's super convenient.
Can I
know
say
those
something?
Yeah.
About college? One thing about college is not your typical college in here, like in St. Ben's, which is all spread out. That college is all about being tall and big compact, so it's not gonna be big as it is in St. Ben's or St. John's. It's not very spread out, it's really small, but it's really tall, so, yes. Just wanna say that. Yes. How many floors? It has 12 floors. Depending on the building.
Do you all have a question? You all have a question?
So I did pull up a map, you can kind of see where the different buildings are. So this building, this is where the main gate is, right where the subway is. This is the building where the third floor with the right there. Where everyone hangs out, but then also it can be a little bit of a maze initially, right? Trying to find all the places because they are oftentimes connected and sort of finding the places, but it's all pretty compact and very. How long do you think it took to?
It took me a week to just know where my classes are, because the majority of my classes are either the same floor or you just go down a level or 2 levels and then you're there. It's never like you have to go to a different building all the time. No, it's just majority of classes are in the same building. Only one class might be different building, which is the B building. Yes, but it's easy to go to the B building and yeah, it's not that crazy at all. So.
when you first get there, none of the students are in class, like it's just international students for like the beginning. And when, I remember when like all of the students came in, I was like, so many people, so like just be prepared for that. It's kind of fun to like see it come to life, but like the beginning, it's very slow and then there are more people there eventually. They don't come back till September, like mid-September, right? Okay, yeah.
Because they're just starting their school year now,
Yeah.
like just now, school year starting, because they're on a different academic. So that's why we have a senior with us.
That's why I know. That's what I'm telling you.
Talking to Angela on that.
I bet you're all curious about this next slide.
It could be
Just cheering. So this is the dormitory space. What? You have any questions about where you'll be living, where you'll be staying? You all have things to share?
I guess for us, it was a different experience because we all have our own individual room and in a very nice building. But I don't know about this building. So I might not have a lot of information, but guys have been sharing more, like sharing with rooms with other guys, and so I think they know more than girls.
Yep, so there are a couple different dormitories. In the past, we have been in different kinds of configurations. This year, we will all be in a place called the Annex. And everyone will be in basically rooms of 4.
Oh, okay.
Men and women in the same dorm. In the past, they have been split apart, but it always depends on the gender breakdown of the space. So there are limited numbers of dorms for women, and they are in another building. There's a host of reasons if you want to talk to me about them. More than happy, but I want to be mindful of our time as well. So things have shifted. This time it's still like the youth house and the Annex are like 5 steps away from each other. I mean, like literally just walk across. So you will also meet other international, the other women who are on the multilateral program will probably be in the youth house. There's only like 7 rooms in that space.
Yeah, okay.
So that is some of the challenge.
And is it the case, do you know that any of our students will be sharing with any of the other international students for their dorm rooms? No, okay, so probably not that, okay.
Not generally. We are usually together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this year there'll be women on one floor and men on the other floor. And there's 2 kitchens in that space. Yes,
Do you know it's at the same place the guys stayed in last?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's the things.
There's a we there waiting.
There's a we there.
They purchased one. There's a door, there's a common area, the laundry. You all can speak to the particulars, Jack and Aaron.
Yeah, any recommendations about the housing from Jack and Aaron, I guess?
I don't know,
Is it like a typical dorm?
it's a dorm.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah.
If the laundry facilities are the same as ours, the dryers don't work very well, and that's usually, so I just would hang dry my stuff. So if did yours work well?
That's pretty fun.
Okay, cause ours didn't.
It worked all right.
Right. But they also, how many were there?
4, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
Because
guys
like
were,
2 on the top floor, 2 on the bottom floor.
okay, yeah, so just, I guess, that.
To add, the one thing I would say, I would either bring a pillow and leave it there or buy one right away. The pillows suck. It's pretty much beans in the pillow. And they're smaller than a hand rag and it's terrible. So.
I will add that I got used to it and I actually like it more than my pillow now. We can give it a chance. Yeah.
Get it over.
Is it?
Alright. The traditional.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I will say really quickly, thank you for cross-cultural comparison. The pillow you're describing is just cultural appreciation, everybody, a more traditional type of pillow filled with rice husk, right? Yeah. So our pillows are our own kinds of pillows that came from our, maybe of our European style with down feathers and stuff like that. That's not the Japanese style. So I might recommend give it a shot and then also do your own thing. But like be culturally curious and then try something else. Anyway.
And where would you buy it?
Don Quixote.
Daiso.
Yeah.
I think Don is your best bet. There's still like a 20-minute walk away, otherwise a good 10-minute 3 miles.
Curiosity, how many people know when they say donkey, what they mean? I'm just trying to clear up the reference. So Daiso and donkey, Don Quixote are 2 sort of discount tops, kind of like Target, but maybe more like
No,
Walmart.
it's more like Dollar General, like Dollar Tree, like it's super cheap. You can, like, there are big stores and there are big markets and they have everything that you can find. Also, like, you can also find like deodorant, cause Japan, they don't sell deodorant. So like, you can find deodorant in that store in Dormitory. And so like, it's a magical place, honestly.
It's also very overwhelming too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
yes.
overwhelming.
You're saying they don't use deodorant, what do they use?
They just don't, they don't have
They don't have the
the genes, they don't have the genes that we do, unfortunately.
For us.
Yeah, for us, unfortunately, for them.
Also a different diet.
We do sell it, yeah.
It's not like it's not like a different diet.
It's not the drink that it is here, so like, I brought. Advice from the front. So the prescription strength, well, the strength here is much stronger than what they have in Japan, so I just brought my own deodorant and it was fine. I would recommend doing that, just so you're not like scrambling and like trying to find something that's in a different language. Easier to do that, but Sadie had success, so.
Yeah, I brought some deodorant in there, cause I remember that August was very hot and I never sweat. like
It's very, very
crazy
hot.
before, and so I was drenched in sweat every single day, every single hour. And I had to
Yes.
take showers every single day, so my deodorant kept like running out, and so I bought deodorant from Dormitory. So if any of you guys need like what mark I use and everything, I can let you guys know. I would be happy to help you guys.
So Don Quixote and Daiso are really, even when you're buying souvenirs to come home and you want to
Yeah.
buy, like,
Everything, they have.
like I got a bunch.
Yeah.
Your Bonnie's Beauty Makers. Normal. Okay, there is air conditioning, like I said, there are kitchen facilities. The only thing about the kitchen facilities, did you all have anyone using Dunahala kitchen in your upstairs?
Yeah.
So because we do have students, Muslim students who are also sharing the space with you, the kitchens might be designated slightly differently, and please be mindful and respectful of that so that everyone can cook and do what they need to do in those spaces. How far was it from school?
5-minute walk.
Across the street.
Across the street. Unfortunately, you cannot jaywalk or run across the street. You get in
Correct.
trouble and like, yeah, you get in
Just
trouble.
bridge across the street.
So, if you run late, it's okay. But there is a small bridge that you walk up and you go down. So please either use that or you use the sidewalk or like the walk where you can walk. Just please don't jaywalk, please. One of my friends almost got hit by a car. So please do not. Please do not jaywalk. It is illegal to jaywalk. No matter where you go, it is illegal to jaywalk. So please just follow the rules and just follow what the people are going and walking. Yes.
What's like, it's just the crosswalk rules, is it pretty similar to here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to wait until like it gets green and you can walk. The good thing is that it gives like a little beeping sound.
Oh, it has like little markers to see how much time is left, which is really nice.
And which is like perfect, so.
I think something that's helpful to think about is like, you know how we say like, God, Japan's so orderly, it's so safe, the stuff's so convenient, that all becomes because as a community, they've all decided to abide by the same rules, to be responsible to each other. I'm not worried about hitting somebody in the street because I know that I can trust my fellow citizens to only use the crosswalk when they need to. So on the other, like here in the United States, you know, we have a lot of individual freedoms, we talk about that a lot, that's a big part of who we are as a country and that's our narrative. Japan has individual freedoms too, and they have collective responsibility. So it's our responsibility to follow the rules because that way the Japanese people know what to expect from us and get a hell of a lot farther by following the rules. So you can think about it as following the rules and you can think about it as I am making sure that all the rest of the Japanese people know what to expect from me and I know what to expect from them too.
So some pictures from your excursions, I think I.
Oh my gosh, I took that picture. Hey, what do you guys, there's the boat Hakone?
Yeah.
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 Okay, Hakone is not a sanctioned excursion that we have, well, not sanctioned, it's
Wait,
not
you
planned. Did you?
Dubois did it, yeah.
So
So,
we're only for one day though.
yeah.
It's a same day trip. So
Yeah.
we just.
Okay, if people wanna go to Hakone, we can make Hakone happen, I'll explain what that is. Actually, wait, please, students who went, can you please explain what Hakone area is, and actually, what was your experience of it? I know how I felt about it, but what did you all think about the Hakone area?
The day we went, Erin and I went to the Hakone Open Air Museum, which was actually really sick.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, it was a foggy kind of rainy day,
Yeah.
so it really set the mood because it was all outside. There was this huge like, I don't know, sculpture.
It's a
Yeah,
sculpture garden.
sculptures everywhere, there's massive like stained glass,
Yeah,
the
it's
stones
like
are
a
building with
kaleidoscope
like,
thing
yeah.
that you can walk through. It was really cool. And it was, you can kind of see in that photos a little like foggy, the one with like the pirate ship thing, that's what we rode, it was just a ship through like this valley of water. It was really pretty, and then some people also went to the onsen.
Yes, I went to the onsen hot springs. If you guys don't know what onsens are like places where you go naked in front of strangers. Oh, naked? Oh, I don't like that, but it is normalized over there. I think it is a way of like just having like the idea of having no clothing to just have your body relaxed in the hot water, or how can you explain? Onsen.
Women and men are separated.
Oh, yeah.
Another question,
You
is that specific onsen, is it tattoo friendly? Cause I know most of them.
No.
Braden he had a bunch of tattoos and he had to wear a whole like thing.
I know.
Yeah, the sticker one, but they also, I think there's something else that was like more.
So they sold them at the store, like a lot of the onsens, what you do is you put a sticker over,
Or they had
patch
them
over your tattoo.
at the onsen, but you have to call ahead.
Yeah.
And you have to wait a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, so the tattoos in Japan tend to be associated with gang activity.
Yeah.
And they are getting more and more popular, more Japanese people are doing them, but when you think about a traditional thing like an onsen, which is dating back thousands of years, well, I don't know about that, definitely in the last 1,000 years, it hasn't caught up with the sensibilities maybe of the acceptability of tattoos.
It was really pretty onsen from there, really relaxing, you can see the mountains. And you're just out there in the hot water, in the cold, very cold weather, and you're just there relaxing, it's really nice.
Anyway, we went to Hakone then.
At the museum, they also had a foot bath, so we got kind of. We got to kind of, onsen experience with just our feet, so like.
It was very, very hot.
It was nice, yeah, we enjoyed it. And we also got to go on, what is it called? The gondolas, I think, we got to go through a mountain and then we ate like the top area.
The top there.
Yeah, and that was good, yeah, I think, did we eat with you there? Yeah. Yeah.
We eat together. I forgot.
We went to the onsen together.
That's true.
Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. It's been a while, it's been a while.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
Okay, I'll get on the things,
It-
but onsen.
Let's go.
Like so many onsen has like own route, so like, and they usually have like English words, so like please follow it, and like people might be like, look at you guys like really, I don't know how to say it, like.
You just are different.
Like, so like they maybe look at you like so time or something, it's like so strange, but like. Maybe like you, if you hold a phone in the onsen, like they didn't say anything, but like might be you like you didn't follow, that mean like. Like you guys maybe didn't follow the rule well or something, so like just look at the rule really well and then follow it and then it's fine.
So in Japanese culture, it's not a little less, it's significantly less direct. And so if you are not following the rules, somebody might not come and tell you that you're not following the rules, but you might get looks.
And you'll feel
And
coldness
that would
for
be-
people.
That will, and they'll be a little uncomfortable with that, so yeah. So be mindful of that, and if you feel like you're getting some looks, maybe you should ask yourself, well, what am I doing?
I would say, though, if you like look, if you look like a foreigner, like you're wearing shorts, like guys wear shorts, that's very foreigner, like you look like a tourist. But like, just in general, I got a lot of looks, I feel like if you just look different, cause everyone looks pretty, I wanna say pretty much the same, but everyone usually has like the haircuts that are the same, especially if you're in like high school, middle school. Like you'll get like, oh wow, foreigner kind of thing, and then that'll be it, but like, so, I don't know, but then you'll get if you get an absurd amount of looks towards you, then you're probably not doing something right. But.
Yeah, I mean, you are probably in Tokyo, you'll get fewer looks, the further out of Tokyo you get, more looks you will get as standing out, they're probably thinking, this person's not from around here. And they might be curious about you. Similar things have happened in the past in the States, and so. What communities you go into. But Japan is very welcome.
Can I give a tip? I'm gonna give you a tip for everyone.
Yeah, please.
I would do an overnight,
You would have done it the whole day, okay.
it blew, I'm gonna be honest.
To
It was
come-
cool,
to
it was
come back
cool.
That late?
Yeah,
Come back
well, it's
that late?
cool, but like, oh my gosh, 8 hours of travel? Like,
Yeah.
That's awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but I hear your point, which is that you travel there, and you do all these excursions.
I mean, you didn't have much time either.
Yeah, I wish it was like 7 to a day.
Yeah.
Looks like you're turning all the Something that I will definitely take into consideration and talk with Jessica about.
I think, yeah, I think it's better, but.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will definitely look into it. Thank you for that suggestion.
The other thing, would you recommend that they bring a Halloween costume?
No.
Buy Halloween costumes
Yeah.
Okay.
over there, especially in Don Quixote again, everything is there. I think you'll find really pretty cute costumes from like girlies out there. Obviously just keep in mind, don't reveal too much. I think it's just people, especially if you wanna go to like a club or something, they will not let you in the way like, open. You know, sort of, it's like
More conservative,
more conservative, yeah.
modest dress code.
I will add that I could not find like many scary costumes, so if you wanna go like scary, maybe bring your own, or go DIY, but like they were all very cutesy, so. That's just.
But there will be a Halloween party.
Yes, there will be a Halloween party.
And a competition too.
Okay, we're closing in on time, but what are the apps? So I have a whole bunch of apps here of things I just wanted to point out, and then I want your advice on like how you like thinking about money and what apps were helpful and that kind of thing. Line, as we talked about, there's that Line app. You are going to, if you have not already downloaded Duo, like for school, for CSB+SJU on your phone, if you need to access, like for registration for class, if you need to be able to get into the CSB+SJU system, having Duo on your phone, they are upping the security on it. So if you need to get support, like a code or some support while you're there, because you may not be able to get a phone call, you have to do it with a professional staff member, which means you have to do it between 8 and 4:30, which is going to be in the middle of the night for you all. And you have to supply 2 forms of ID. So it is becoming stricter. So I highly recommend that you download it on your phone. And that way you don't have to go through that whole process. This is my recommendation, as you will need to do Duo to register for classes. And you will be registering for classes in the middle of the night, because it is Minnesota time, there is no adjustment to where you are, so.
Five in the morning. Oh, no, restriction.
Yeah, cause you might have to change your 4 o'clock block and be registered. Well, 4 o'clock block is 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah, it's still 6 a.m. That's not too bad. You could have the 12 o'clock block.
Another 15 blocks.
That's 8 in there.
Oh, okay, good.
It might not be.
Might be 10-15.
Yeah. Because it didn't work. I was thinking I.
Okay, is there anything that people should absolutely have on their phone other than Line? We have said that they must have Line. What was helpful?
I added 3 apps in there, but I wanna talk about 2 apps, Google Maps and Safe Trip. Google Maps, highly recommend, because that would help you tell what time the trains will be and the times of the trains that will come over whenever you want to like go visit somewhere. Google Maps will really help you. It tells you how to get there, what train you should take, everything. The platform, everything. It really helps you a lot. So Google Maps, if you don't have Google Maps, highly recommend it, because if you use your Apple Maps, it's not as effective as it is as Google Maps. It doesn't tell you, it just doesn't really work, especially since it's in Japan and everything is in Japanese. It's not gonna really translate well. And Google Maps, I think it really helps you with the translation and everything, so highly Google Maps. And then Safe Trip is a little blue icon that helps me to just get notified if there's anything going on around Tokyo. We did have experienced earthquakes. I've experienced earthquakes during the night where like it's just a small little shake, not that bad. But that app will let me know like did it actually happen an earthquake in there, or just if there were any earthquakes that were occurring that I didn't know. And it just keeps me updated. So if you guys want to just keep it updated what's going on in Japan or in Tokyo, highly recommend downloading that app. Really helps you to know if there's an earthquake going on or if past earthquakes happen. So yeah, highly recommend those 2 apps for sure.
I would say the Taquito, that one you the red one up there, that's for karaoke. And like, if you go a certain amount of times and you scan it, you get discounts. So like, I didn't get that, but a lot of my Japanese friends had it, and so we got like money off of our karaoke. Also, I have, I use Passmo on my phone, and it works with Apple Wallet, which is really nice. And you can recharge at ATMs, which I didn't know until like halfway through my trip. So yeah, it's just like the very top right corner, and then you can just recharge at the end.
Clarifying question about that. So since Passmo is theirs, a great question came up earlier. What about like Apple Pay?
I mean, you
And
can
the
use
tap.
it at like vending machines, at like convenience stores, but like
Okay.
you can't use it on the transport, like for trains. It's a different system.
Because there's a different system. Okay, yeah. So Passmo, P-A-S-M-O.
Passmo or Suica, they're
Or
the same.
Suica,
I think-
S-U-I-C-A.
Yeah.
Those are Japanese systems for paying for transportation across the different companies that run transportation. So the point is that in Japan, because everybody uses the subway, they also have integrated most of their payment into their subway payment app. So that's like all of you using your student ID or something, like, you know how you don't use it to get on the link, but like your student ID gives you access to the link. That's like suddenly walking around all of campus and paying for everything by tapping your student ID. So does that make, would you agree Passmo and Suica are like that, or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Also Suica, I think, has an English version of their app and Passmo does not. So I'm kind of like tapping around on nothing on Pasmo, so like maybe get Suica.
Okay, so yeah, get the Suica one instead, SUICA.
Yeah, so.
I have a question.
Oh, no, if you do plan to go to karaoke, the student discount, bring your
Yeah.
university card, bring it, because you get money off, it's like the best thing ever, so.
More like probably big.
We can talk about that, and then, like, yeah, that would be standard operating procedure, but if somebody already has it on their phone, then maybe not.
Oh, okay. Just in case you guys are just kind of like worried, like what the heck is Pasmo, don't worry. When you're at the airport, someone's gonna help you get your physical Pasmo card. I didn't use the app, I used my physical. And
I also use a physical card.
Yeah, I think it's just more in cases like, what if my phone dies? 'Cause there were
Yes.
moments that
That's
my
what I
phone will literally die and I'm like, I don't know where to go, so thank God I have my Pasmo. And so it's easy to recharge, you just go to a convenience store and it says in there if you wanna recharge your Pasmo or your Wika. And you just put the amount of money and there you go, it's not, it's very easy, takes 30 seconds to just recharge and everything, so. Don't worry, you don't have to get your Pasmo right now. Once you get to the airport, you'll get your Pasmo.
But the physical one is like, now it's not available to get in the city, so, yeah, it's only airport. And it's only
Oh,
so,
only airport.
The ship,
Yeah.
ship issue, so yeah,
Okay.
so it is something BG will talk to us about.
yes.
And now send out information.
Maybe if you go to countryside, you can get it, but I know that in Tokyo, you cannot get it anymore, so
Okay.
maybe it's
was a little bit more available than Pasmo right now, but.
yeah, but still,
Mhm.
I think it's only in the airport right now. Really? Yeah,
Okay.
so.
No, but you are arriving at the airport, so.
Another thing, cause you said about phone dying, I brought just a spare battery pack and that saved me, cause we go on a lot of excursions, we did, so it's just a good thing.
Oh, you can borrow the charger in the
Oh,
convenience
yes.
store,
Oh,
and they
yes.
have English one, I think. So maybe you can download that app, I think. And then you can borrow that anywhere, and then you can return it anywhere.
And quickly, what's cell phone plan? Because this is also a question that people have. How did you manage your cell phone?
So I used an eSIM, it was called Ubiggy, that's how I spelled it, and it worked really well, and I think, did you use it too?
Yeah.
And then Braden used it too, so, and this is like a little, fun little thing, so I have a code, and if I share it with someone gets a discount, and then if you share it with someone, you get a discount on your next one. So that's a really good tip, so have that.
Can you spell it, Sophia?
Ubiggi, and you can choose your Japan plan, or if you wanna travel outside the country, you can do Asia, but that's more expensive.
How much was it, you know?
It was pretty cheap, depending on your data range, it goes by data, so let me check, I have that.
I feel like you guys might see this because sometimes when I use my apps to play games, I will always see commercials or ads of the so maybe you might see it, but it is very helpful. Highly recommend downloading before you go to Japan because I did a mistake. I didn't have any internet whatsoever, and having internet in the airport sucks a lot. Because we had to use this sort of form to enter, because we
Yes.
did through immigration, you had to go through immigration checks. And the Wi-Fi in the airport was not working, so I was panicking because I was like, I'm not gonna get into Japan, I'm gonna be stuck here, so highly recommend.
There's a physical.
I also
Yeah.
printed, you can also print your form instead of relying on your phone to have it. You can
Yes.
print your immigration, it's part of your immigration package.
Yes, so highly recommend downloading.
And then what did Jack put up here for both
I
of us?
put just.
Or not Jack, no, that's Jack, I'm sorry,
That's
sorry.
way cheaper.
I can put some other eSIM options, so they use Ubiggy, there's another one called Sakura, that some people use, I use mobile, that works pretty well, so.
It's just whatever worked best for you.
Yeah.
I found that this one, it like never gave me any problems, like, it felt like I was just using my phone here.
No, I use mobile
Okay,
too, that never gave,
You were
That never
explaining how
gave
it
me-
works, so you pay before you go.
You can, I did, and it, whenever you go into the thing and you physically turn it on and it connects to this like server, then it starts charging you. So like, you pay for the plan and then it like
It's like,
actually
say
starts.
you pay for like 15 gigs and then it'll run out, you have to just buy more.
Yeah, so you can buy recurring plans, but you can't cancel the recurring plans after 3 months with this program. But you can also buy one-off data, so if you need like, oh, I need an extra 5 gigs, then you can just buy that and then you're fine.
So you did the recurring plan.
I did recurring and then I also did one-off if needed, if we had like a lot of excursions where we went outside. And also this is not, it does not give you a phone number, it only does data.
Yeah.
yeah, so I also did a recurring plan, but my mobile did have a Japanese phone number. Which is
So
nice.
you just have to pay more.
Yeah, probably a little bit more.
But
Mine
it's nice
was,
to have.
mine was pretty easy, I basically just went to the website, paid online, and they mail you, mail straight to the Annex, so like a QR code. They just log into mobile account and scan the QR code, sets it up, ease them on your phone.
I did put up, there is something, there are sort of AirHub, Airlo, there's other eSIMs that you can get that are like $7-8 for like a week. So if you want something to get there and then make a choice, you can also do something like that and they start right away, you can pay for them before you leave. That's what I use, cause I'm not gonna go, like when I was there for 2 weeks, I wasn't gonna buy a whole plan, but I just used those and you can use those internationally, lots of different places, so.
And
If
because,
you need a, sorry, no, if you just need a transition option, those are pretty reasonable.
and because you use eSIM, they don't give you a phone number, so. If you wanna contact your parents and have in touch with them, maybe download like WhatsApp or maybe call them through Instagram or something, cause they can use that data or something. I didn't have a Japanese phone, so I was just depending on Line, Instagram and WhatsApp to contact the people. So as long as you have someone to contact and BGO has something to contact with you, you should be okay. But-
Also, iMessage does work on data, so if you have an iPhone, it works. Yeah, iMessage works.
Does FaceTime work?
Yeah.
Even with Android, on Androids too, you can set it up so that only your Google Messages runs by phone, runs by data, but, or by Wi-Fi, excuse me. You can set it up that way, but it's more difficult, cause I have an Android.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
I just know for iPhone, yeah.
Do you have to change anything, or is it just?
It just, no, I just turned off my cellular like completely, like for the US, so it didn't like charge me through my Verizon account. Make sure, it'll like, if you get the eSIM, it'll run you through all of that, you'll be fine, but.
Yeah.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but it's so hot there when you get there, so just, like, you don't need to pack like, I packed like this like long sleeve, but I needed like tank top, like it's
Tank
so
top.
hot, it's ridiculous, so, and you don't need to pack that much. Packing. I bought way more than I needed, so I needed the space, you know, so that's just my 2 tips I wish I.
And also on that note, the start of pretty much August to, I don't know, like September is really hot, humid and rainy. So like you're gonna want an umbrella. You probably don't need a gray one, you can buy one that don't
Yeah.
Kyoto, but you're gonna.
Aaron had one and I was so jealous, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish, yeah, and I bought a little fan there too, get the fans, they're so nice.
Yeah. For, this is for my curvy girls. Finding clothes in Japan is gonna be a pain in the butt because everything is small size, petite size, everything is small size. So for my girls who are not petite, like me, it's gonna be hard finding very cute shirts, cause I didn't buy like a lot of clothes, cause I was just thinking like, maybe I'm gonna find somewhere that is gonna fit my size. No, I feel like if you're small here, you're gonna be a large over there in Japan, and then so, again, everything's so small, petite.
Recommendation though, did you go to thrift shops and look? Okay,
She
so
went.
I went with a curvy girl to Japan 2 years ago, and thrift shops, she
Yeah.
had a lot of success at thrift shops for both pants and tops. But it is very difficult to go to, maybe not Dice or Don Quixote, because I don't know how many clothes they really have, but they don't really. But it's difficult to go to a mall and get much larger than what would be considered large here in the US.
Yeah, because majority of the sizes.
Or small,
is-
small, medium in the US.
Yeah, because everything is one size fits all. Oh, I mean, no, wait.
A
One
lot of
size.
things are, like they say, free size, and that just means it's one size.
It's just one size.
Like you'll walk into the store and they'll say, free size, and we're like, okay, and what does that mean, but it's
Yeah.
one size. Thrifting, so good, Jack can attest to that. Is that what you're wearing, is that thrifted? Yeah, so like, thrifting's really good, I went thrifting too. I'd say the best places I went were actually book offs, which you'll see.
Oh, yeah, book
everywhere. You'll see everywhere, they have like thrift, like, stop, they have like, it's kind of like a Goodwill, I would say, they're everywhere, but like, the further you go outside of Tokyo, the better it gets, I'd say. And there are also like other ones if you want like speakers or like a TV, I don't know, there's like, there's a hard off, there's mode off, there's home off, yeah.
These are all owned by the same company and they all sell reused things, which is great for our environment. And good for not fast fashion.
Like that.
Yes, so cheap. There was one shop, I have a bunch of thrift shops if you guys wanna, and I think, I'm pretty sure you have a bunch too. But there was one in Winnell that's like not far, and I found like a jacket for like 50 cents.
What?
And it was like in good condition, so like, but this was like the sale of the sale. So, you gotta look. So, yeah, it's really, go for that, it's fun.
Okay, this is a good time, huh?
Yeah, we are sort of at time, but if you were last minute burning question,
We would have to get answered right now.
okay, we will all are, go ahead.
So I know you get like ticket while you're there for that Gilbert Museum,
I purchased it with the help of the VG people, yeah.
but like say if you ever wanted to go to like an attraction on your own time, would you recommend like is it viable to like, cause I know a lot of places you have to buy a ticket in order to get it while you're in Japan. Do you guys have any experience with that?
I personally did not. One of my friends from the year before went to Universal by themselves and they said it was really fun and they had a great experience. So it's possible definitely, but I don't have.
It depends on what the excursion is. Some excursions, because they're so popular, they get sold out, and so it just depends on what you like.
Oh, I went to what's it called? What's it called? The visual museum where you walk through the water.
Team Planet.
Team Lab. Yeah, it's in
Team
York too. That was really fun. And it's like kind of like a fan exclusive thing, so I definitely recommend going. It was a bit pricey, but worth it, definitely. It's so cool. Team Lab, I don't know, look it up and go there.
I also went Disney by one of my friends, so like as long as you have like a Japanese friend that can help you buy tickets, I would recommend. I bought Team Lab by myself and I went by myself, so you can just search online, just put the place that you wanna visit, and I'm pretty sure they have like English like websites. And that can help you like buy the tickets, and it's just easy, you just pay, I paid from Apple Pay, so it's not that hard, so. Yeah,
And most, a lot of the Disney and things like that are more accessible and you can purchase abroad. Ghibli is an interesting one.
Because it's too popular.
yeah.
You have to, like, they only release tickets a certain time out.
So
And
don't worry
then you
about
have to have a Japanese phone number and you have to have an
Like
ID
a
and
theme.
it's a little bit more
Like
complicated.
that,
So if that's something you're truly motivated,
Okay.
you will get it as part of the program, and if you wish to go back, then might
Oh,
want
yeah.
to talk to the GSI office on how that might happen. Or talk to a friend, maybe it's more complicated.
And they know more like cheapest way.
Yeah.
And they have like.
Well, Ghibli is actually really cheap, it's only like, it's only it wasn't hardly anything, I
It's
was,
like only 1,000, so it's
yeah,
like.
it's only $1,000, yeah, it was like $10.
We're going.
But it was, you're going as part of the program, but it was complicated.
They're going.
Well, I'm sure you have to go, I have to actually leave.
Okay,
So, I'm sure you have more to share, but we will have to pay for our lunch,
Yes.
okay.
so if you want to.
PC you all on the video that goes out for them, and then they can share additional information there.